Hello everyone. Welcome back to another weekly video from Fifth Row Tarot. Thank you for being here today. I think we can safely say that for humanity, it's been kind of an interesting week, and definitely an interesting, honestly, probably like in the last year. Some would probably say almost 4 years. However, I think in particular for me, the last week or two has been a little bit hard, very heartbreaking. And honestly, I know that I've talked a lot about non-duality on this channel. Sorry, I'm looking for my water. Here it is. I know I've talked a lot about non-duality and there not being a difference, and it's kind of hard when you're reminded of your difference in a lot of ways, but most especially in a way that you don't really want to have any kind of basically, your skin color is your skin color, but you shouldn't have to be reduced or praised for having one or the other. You should be able to just be. But unfortunately, that is one of the things that we are either judged or characterized by, which, being characterized as being, person of color, person, Asian, Black, that kind of thing. We have these levels of identification, but I think what's most important is what is in our hearts and what we want to envision for the future. And to me, that just means getting rid of things like racism. So just a second, taking a drink of some water. So yeah, that's my take on today for now. Of course, again, because this is the Fifth Row channel, if you don't agree with that, you're more than welcome to find there are other tarot readers out there on YouTube, on the internet. But I think in tarot, we definitely look at both sides of the story. And not even both sides of the story. We don't just look at happiness and the good times, because none of that would be able to be gauged unless we had anger, bad times, chaos. It's an uncomfortable place. Yeah, that's just it. So let's go ahead and get started. I really am not sure which deck to use today. I want to start off something a little different, and I'll start off with a archetype card and do like a little bit of a spread here to see what to expect for the week of May 31st. We're going into June. Wow. Just seems like, we just did this time hop from March to June, at least to me. I don't know if you're feeling like you've done some sort of time hop too in the last, I don't know, maybe couple of months have just been a bit of a blur. So let's go ahead and see. I'm going to call in on my spirit guides and call in on the elements of nature. I call on my enlightened and ascended ancestors to come into this reading. I call on my divine enlightened masters and teachers to come into this reading. And I call on the spirit of the element of air, spirit of the element of fire, spirit of the element of water, and the spirit of the element of earth to come into this reading. And I also ask the spirit of the fifth element to come in to this reading. The spirit of nature, the spirit of humanity, the universal spirit that combines us all, connects us all, bridges us all to the nature of being. Thank you so much, Spirit. Can you give us a card that will speak to the reading for the general collective this week? Can you give me a card that will speak to the nature of the reading for the collective this week? There we go. Ooh, wow. All right. Well, just gonna take that card. Let's talk about it. You know what? Let me go ahead and I'll just put this aside and we'll go ahead and spread some more cards. And I'll read based on the card that came out. Okay. Yes. All right. Spirit. You've given me a guidance card. Now, I would love to have some tarot cards that will speak to the story behind this. I call on my enlightened and ascended ancestors, divine masters and teachers, spirit guides, spirit of the element of air, spirit of the element of fire, spirit of the element of water, spirit of the element of earth, and the spirit of the fifth element, the nature that combines us all, the universal connection that bridges us to each other, to the world around us, to the universe. Please come into this reading with the message for the collective for the week of May 31st. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay. Wow. Okay. I knew that one was coming out. Okay. Got a lot of cards here. Oops, this one came out. These two. Okay. So I feel like the Mother of Pentacles was actually in our last reading, but I'll go ahead and go through what we've got here. Yeah, I'll pull another card at the end, another oracle card. So the card that came up as the topic for this week is the archetype cards is the venom. And as you can see in the card, there's wolf teeth, it looks like, and I believe that's planet Earth, maybe. I don't know what planet is in there, but it looks kind of like Earth. So I'll go ahead and put this up right there. Okay. So tarot cards, we have the Lovers, which are two geese flying in this very rainbow-like background. We have the Nine of Swords. You can see there's like a horn, some sort of horn there. Yeah, something in decay, and then we've got 9 swords poking it throughout. Then we have the Mother of Pentacles, which I believe came up in the last week's reading. So this might be a continuation of that. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Mother of Wands, which I also think I mentioned in the last reading, and the Ace of Cups. And I'll pull out the bottom of the deck a little later if it resonates. So yeah, that's what I want to say too, is that this is a reading for the collective. It may not resonate, it may not happen today, this week, or tomorrow. Even though I'm reading for this week, you may not see it maybe until a year from now. But yeah, if it resonates, great. If there are parts that resonate, take the parts that resonate. If they don't, great. That's fine too. So let's go ahead and look at what the venom is telling us about this week. I've never gotten that card, so it's very interesting to see. Okay. So the Venom card is from the Kim Krans Archetype, Wild Unknown Archetype cards. And a lot of these are based on psychological, Carl Jung's psychological works. So I believe the venom comes out of a part of the cards that she calls the tools. So the venom, the poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide, and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. When this is in light, there is self-realization through suffering. When it is dark, there is an unwillingness to find a solution or to forgive. To go deeper, read A Poison Tree by William Blake. The spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it is likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle. When you harm another, you harm yourself. Keep in mind this goes for our earth as well, with cosmic consequences. So I think that's a pretty timely card to receive. as we are probably experiencing venom in our political and social systems currently. Yeah, especially if you're in the United States, you might be seeing this. So let's talk about it in the cards. And I was wondering why I got the cards that I did last week, because it was kind of a split reading. And that Mother of Pentacles in that last card did seem really sad. So I'm just going to take a minute and look at the overall message here. So this starts off with at a spiritual level, there's a choice being made with the lovers. There's a higher level decision being made. This Nine of Swords, to me, is about someone who is dealing with something very anguishing, something that is something that is keeping them up at night. Someone might be having some dreams about a decision that they need to make. Ooh. Or nightmares. Yeah. And it might be this Mother of Pentacles, this Queen of Pentacles may have to make some decisions. Yeah, there might be a mature decision that needs to be made. Someone is having like hard thoughts about either a decision about a love relationship or thoughts about a love relationship. Let's see. Sorry, my watch is going off. Then we have the Three of Pentacles, which seems like the renewal of a contract or the renewal of a plan, like a base plan. And that renewal is going to bring some balance for two people that share spiritual connection. This Two of Cups is my soulmate card. Someone is realizing something, probably in their dreams. Someone is realizing something in their dreams about a relationship. And that relationship changes in favor of something that is more spiritual. The Mother of Wands comes up, and while the Mother of Wands is pretty much in most aspects, the mother is also the queen, but the Mother of Wands is very passionate, very independent. She's very she's very free with herself. Um, I think in one of my recent postings on Instagram, I identified the wolf as this very independent person, very independent personality. When we talk about the Mother of Wands, we talk about someone who is very wolf-like, able to lead a pack by herself, and very wild and very fierce, but also still able to nurture. She is unlike the Mother of Pentacles and the Mother of Cups, who are probably much more comfortable at home. This Mother of Wands is comfortable out in the woods, out in the wild, ready to go into nature without a care. Her throne is probably in a tree, you know? Yeah, yeah. And the Ace of Cups closes out this reading with saying that a spiritual offer is being made, or something is being closed out, because this Two of Cups goes down to 1. There is very much, we've got 2 queens out on the board. But this Mother of Wands seems to be, there's a balancing out. And it seems as if the Mother of Pentacles is doing her own change, while the Mother of Wands is experiencing this oneness, this spiritual oneness. Guys, this is 2 readings. And I'm not quite sure how they are split. So I'm going to do this. Same thing I did last week. Just going to read them in a row and see if anything else comes out. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So yeah, the Lovers is the major arcana that's here. Someone is choosing to end a nightmare. Yeah, someone is making a decision to end a nightmare for love or around love. And I think it's this Mother of Pentacles. And you know what? It's as if this Mother of Pentacles is experiencing, it's like she's going deep inside herself. And she's going back to, the very basic contract maybe that she built herself upon, right? Built her kingdom on. And it's quite possible that she's finding some cracks. So instead of renewing the contract, she's finding balance. And the butterfly in this Pentacles card shows me that there is a release, there is a renewal, but not in contract. This Mother of Pentacles is seeing the other side of the coin here. And seeing that is also seeing that there is possibly a soul connection or soulmate connection with a Mother of Wands. Interesting. The Mother of Pentacles is seeing a soul relationship with the Mother of Wands. So, okay. Gender aside, because, no, not aside. The Mother of Pentacles and the Mother of Wands, while these both represent queens, and in our heads, queens are connected to women, the queen energy in this reading could be male or female. You choose. But there is someone, a Mother of Pentacles, probably a business owner, probably someone very high up in a company, a CEO, who is, again, frying up the bacon, or making the bacon, bringing it home to fry it up, is feeling a connection with a Mother of Wands. And while, I've given the description of the Mother of Wands, but also in tarot, the Mother of Wands can by herself stand for someone who, very romantic, very sexual. So this could be a Mother of Pentacles is finding renewal in a relationship, like a soul, like a spiritual relationship with a Mother of Wands. And the Mother of Wands often is characterized as a mistress. Just sometimes. Take it or leave it. I'm just saying what the cards mean. And finally, in that realization of balance, there's an understanding, and there's a new spiritual offer, a spiritual beginning. And because cups are emotions, cups are not just emotions, but they're also spiritual energy, if we think about it. So there's renewal here with the Mother of Pentacles and the Mother of Wands. And it's interesting because I got a reading, I think it was yesterday, where I saw in the reading that I was doing, I saw the shadow of Athena. Well, Athena, essentially, what came out of that story was that Athena was looking at her shadow. And in her shadow was Medusa. Medusa was a priestess of Athena. And Athena was enraged when Medusa caught the eye of Poseidon. And because Athena was constantly in competition with Poseidon, instead of punishing Poseidon with all her might and power, she destroyed someone who could not defend herself. In fact, someone who worshipped her and worked for her. So, yeah, Athena's shadow. And it looks like in this case, if the Mother of Pentacles here is looking at her, not to say that the Mother of Pentacles is related to the spirit of Athena, but that was the reading yesterday. But it seems as in this same vein, the Mother of Pentacles is looking deeply in her shadow and recognizing that there is a spiritual connection with this Mother of Wands that needs to be celebrated, not punished. And therein is the story of the venom. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. The Moon, and the Ace of Wands, and the Mother of Cups. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Moon as our bottom of the deck. Got the Moon. That's dealing with the mystery, dealing with the feminine. And it looks as if, in this case, the feminine here is what's going to heal this venom situation. The Moon. I'm sorry, I'm just getting like all these. This is just interesting to see because I just feel like I feel like I'm looking on a new world right now. A new world being brought forth simply by going within. In the Moon card is going within. It's also representative of the feminine. Also talks about intuition, um, mysteries, getting comfortable with the mysteries, getting comfortable under the light of the moon, which, if we live our calendar and daily lives by the sun, we have to figure out how to work with the moon. We can't just say, oh, we live our lives by the sun only, because what if we had no sun? And I think that's the question here. What if we had no sun? What would we do with the moon? Guys, I know I'm rambling and all over the place, and this probably does not make sense, but I'm hoping that it makes sense to someone because what I'm seeing here is the embracing of a feminine energy, a healing of the feminine through acceptance and love and understanding of closeness and passion, understanding the differences of the other, understanding the mysteries the other contains, and embracing the beauty of that, embracing the beauty of that spirituality. Wherein the venom here is, wow, this is a healing of the feminine at a level where we stop looking at women who are, when I say women, we stop looking as the feminine nature is bound to do through the gaze of men. That's it. We stop looking at other women through the gaze of men, through the gaze, honestly, through the gaze of white men. And we start looking as woman to woman. What do I see in you? How can I renew a contract with you? How do I find balance and relation with you? And we're doing that with other women, other feminines, which to me is quite beautiful after, listening to the story of Athena and Medusa. Medusa was made into a monster just because a god looked at her in a certain way and Athena didn't like it. So Medusa was at fault. Medusa was made into a monster. And you know what? I have, because I actually had a friend not long ago, probably like a year ago, where I was actually thinking about Medusa and how, she was just, I hadn't realized her story until about a year ago. And when I realized it, I said, that makes perfect sense. Medusa was ostracized, made into a monster, and then hunted when she tried to protect herself. She was made ugly by a goddess. She was made ugly by a goddess out of jealousy and spite. So I think the question in the venom is, how are you as a feminine, males, I'm talking about your feminine side, how do you ostracize other people? How do you make them a victim when you know that it's not their fault? Can you accept the chaos and the mystery that's in this? Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is quite an interesting reading. Let's see if I can find some sort of guidance. Because internally, it could be that you're connecting with the side of yourself that you had previously rejected. And in doing that, when we do that, We embrace our shadows, right? Because the Mother of Pentacles probably wants to go out and have fun and sometimes and like, skip out on her family and go hang out in the woods, go to Vegas, have a good time, that kind of a thing, But if she's not embracing or connecting with that side of herself, she's ostracizing a part of her that she actually wants to be like. If it's on the outside, maybe this is feminine finding connection and soul connection with another feminine. Or if you're a male, maybe you're finding your feminine connected to another feminine in another, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Your feminine side is connecting with someone else's feminine side, or you are connecting two separated archetypes in your own central being and bringing them together. You are no longer ostracizing a part of yourself for outer love. Okay, can we get some guidance for surrender so that we can make this healing happen, this connection happen? Where are we? 36 minutes, not too bad. All right, can we get some guidance? Anyone guidance on surrender? I think that, yeah, this card is already really good. But Spirit, if you have any more, I'll take it. Oh, wow. Hard stuff this week, guys. Hard things to do, but things we have to do, right? So this is from the Power Surrender cards by Judith Orloff, MD. Let's see if I can prop it up against the box here. The first is Surrender Fear. The second is Surrender Resentment. Oh, strong, right? So Surrender Fear says, let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. Surrender Resentment says, holding on to resentments only poisons you. Yeah, the venom. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. All right, so yeah, that is your reading for the day or the week. I will post up the recommendations for the Venom cards, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. If you're interested in a reading, please feel free to email me via my website, which is also in my description. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye.